met Rinpoche was through my cousin, Ruby Kong, in the year 1999, when she invited me and my wife, Angel, to a Dharma gathering in her house. That was on the 15th day of the Chinese New Year. We call it Chap Gome. What impressed me most was the lucidity of his teaching. It was very clear, and it was so simple, but yet it was so profound. Meaning that Rinpoche did not use big Dharma jargons or slangs or words that a person like me who is new, who has no basic, no Dharma knowledge at all, would find it so difficult, would find it so easy to understand. It is just a simple analogy, a simple explanation about Dharma. It is not about that you must pray, you must chant, you must have big statues and all that. No, it is about how we can help people, kindness, love, happiness. What do we want? The other thing is that it is also the humor that Rinpoche interjects in his teachings and the examples that he gives. That made everybody at ease, and everybody will be thinking, I can relate to that. That is about me. And that was very interesting. The qualities of Rinpoche are many. Teaching is one thing, but what Rinpoche puts into practice. A lot of people can talk, a lot of people can teach, but it is very important for us to see the person walking the talk. That means doing the practice. What I would like to talk about is the compassion. I'm not talking even kindness down here. I'm talking about compassion, which now I understand what compassion is, that Rinpoche displayed on a trip where he took some of us to Nepal, in Kathmandu, whereby we were walking along this temple. It's called Swayambhunath in Nepal, in Kathmandu itself. And we were walking around, circumambulating the temples. Suddenly we come to a stupa. A stupa is the pagoda, whereby while we were circumambulating, Rinpoche saw a dog inside the stupa. And he stopped. And he looked at the dog, and we saw that the dog was badly injured. How badly injured was that the jaws of the dog was infected, and it could not move. It closed. It closed, like it can't open its mouth. And when on closer inspection, we saw that the jaw was broken, and there was blood and all that. And it can't bark or anything. We saw 2 or 3 puppies lying near the dog. It's a female dog. And immediately Rinpoche asked his assistants to go and buy rice, egg, meat, and milk to feed the dog and the puppies. Now, Rinpoche himself knelt down in front of the dog, and he hand fed. He tried to hand feed the dog with the rice and the food and the egg, but the dog obviously couldn't eat because its jaws couldn't open. Then we poured the milk onto a bowl, and he tried feeding the puppy. Now we are seeing Rinpoche teaching and talking about compassion, but on that day itself, it was action. It was action of how compassion is carried out to a dog. And that incident prompted Rinpoche to give a Dharma talk, and to me, it was a profound Dharma talk. It was talking about cause and effect. It was talking about karma. It was talking about previous incarnations and the present incarnation that will lead to the next incarnation. What Rinpoche said that was this particular dog in its previous lives had or did not did not live a good and virtuous life, and that itself, the karma, had propelled it to take a rebirth as a dog in this life. So what Rinpoche said is that when we see a person right now who is doing things or actions that in the teachings of Buddhism in Lamrim, it says that the actions that you do now will lead you to a lower rebirth, you should stop. By all means, try to stop the person's negative and unvirtuous actions right now, so that he or she does not lead to rebirth in the lower realm. So he said that yes, we pity the dog now, but do we pity the person when the person is doing negative things right now? We do not see it, but does the person see it? Of course the person doesn't see it. So when the guru teaches the person and tell the person, stop, do not do it, the person gets angry and the person runs away from the guru. But then when the effect takes place, it's already too late because the cause was created for the lower rebirth. There are many encounters and many incidences that I can share about Rinpoche, not only about teachings. You see, in the Gelugpa tradition, Lama Tsongkhapa forbade all the students in the Gelug tradition to display magical powers. And many High Lamas, they have this attainment through their years of meditation, and they have spiritual powers. Some of them they have clairvoyance, some of them they can stop the rain, some of them they can talk and help spirits on many levels. One of Rinpoche's, how do I say it? One of Rinpoche's ability is that Rinpoche can channel. Now, what's the meaning of channeling? Channeling means that a person who has been trained to be able to allow a divine being, in this case of a bodhisattva or an enlightened mind or nature, to take over or to speak through the person. When he first went to Ganden Monastery, all he wanted was to be a simple monk. So at that time, he was very interested to become an oracle. An oracle is like a medium, where the oracle takes trance of a Dharma Protector. So Rinpoche asked the permission of one of his gurus, and the permission was given, and Rinpoche was put into retreat. But because the person, the candidate has to go into intense retreat for the person to have the ability to take on the, to channel. So during that time, one of his gurus have already submitted Rinpoche's application to be recognized as a Rinpoche. That time Rinpoche was not officially recognized as a Rinpoche. So while waiting for the words to come from His Holiness office in Dharamsala, Rinpoche was in retreat and was already being prepared to become an oracle. So when the words came from Dharamsala that Rinpoche is not only a Rinpoche but a Truku, which is a being that has taken rebirth at will, the training was stopped. Why? Because no beings can enter a high being, a high Lama, full and take over the consciousness. So since Rinpoche had the training, so Rinpoche right now can do channeling. Channeling means when the protector comes, it mixes with the mind of Rinpoche, but not full. It does not take over the full consciousness of Rinpoche. It's about, let's say, if you want to say in percentage, it's 50%. So when Rinpoche does channeling, 50% Rinpoche can remember, 50% Rinpoche cannot remember. So when the Dharma Protector enters Rinpoche's consciousness, that's when the Dharma Protector speaks and gives advices to people around, or when there's a divination. When people ask for divination, Rinpoche has this ability to do divination using a dice. And he will give advice of problems, of people, questions that people ask for the future. It was somewhere in 2002, March or April, when I was with a group of Rinpoche students. At that time, we did not have Kechara House. Angel was with me, and we were in Kiwi Express in Sri Hatamas. We were sitting down there with a group with Rinpoche, and we were happily drinking juices, kiwi juices and all that. And suddenly, Rinpoche channeled. The Dharma Protector came, channeled, and I was the one that the Dharma Protector spoke to. It was quite fierce. I was told, stop what you're doing. You must stop what you're doing. If not, you will go down and you will not come up again. Those were the words that Rinpoche spoke to me. And at that time I was shocked and I don't know what was happening. So I said, okay. So then after that, Rinpoche regained his consciousness, the Dharma Protector left, and we continued happily drinking, talking and all that. You know. The second time, the Dharma Protector came again through Rinpoche and told me the same thing again. And this time he added on, request from your Lama a set of Tsongkhapa statues to be placed in your home. It is inappropriate for a student to ask for a gift from your Lama. But in this case, take it as a blessing and stop what you're doing. So I said, okay. Now, then when Rinpoche regained his consciousness the second time, I requested from Rinpoche. I said, oh, Rinpoche, just now when the Dharma Protector spoke to me, he said that to request this set of statue from you. Then immediately Rinpoche said, okay, I want to go to your house now. And that was, I think, past midnight already. So immediately all of us go in different cars back to where I was staying. So some of the students took Rinpoche back to his house and they packed some of his ritual items and all that, and then they all came to my house. When Rinpoche sat down onto the seat that was prepared for him, and I was sitting on the floor, immediately again Rinpoche channel, and that was the third time where the Dharma Protector came and was very fierce, wrathful. He told me, stop, you have to promise me what you have been doing. You must stop it immediately. If not, it will be very, very bad for you. At that time, it dawned on me what the Dharma Protector was asking me to stop. My habit of gambling. Yes, I love gambling. And that time it was just gambling, nothing else, focusing on gambling. And it not only affected me, you see, it also affected my family, my wife, my children. So immediately I fold my hands and I say, yes, I will stop. Well, that was 8 years ago. Until now, of course, I'm not gambled. But the Dharma Protector said, if you do it for leisure, it's okay. So when we say in Chinese, when we say gambling, means that okay, Chinese New Year, you get together, you play mahjong lah, pokwa lah, and you play cards and all that, it's fine, you know. But we are not talking about big time gambling whereby you are immersed into it and you spend your day and night just focusing on gambling and gambling and gambling. Much later, I found out to my own perception, my own opinion right now is that gambling, it is not about the money. Gambling, it is about not losing. It is about our ego. We always think that cannot be one, come sway luck one na. No. So therefore, it is fueled by our ego to win. We want to win the bank. We want to win our friends. We want to make sure that we win so that our ego is happy. And that was a lesson I found the hard way out through the kindness of Rinpoche and the Dharma Protector. I think it was somewhere in 2004 when my wife almost died. She almost died through internal hemorrhage caused by ectopic pregnancy. After the incident, when she was saved, 2 weeks later, I myself almost died. I landed in hospital because of a dengue outbreak, and I had my blood vessels breaking, and I can see all my blood all over my body. And I was admitted to hospital. I was fortunate enough that I went in quite early, and the doctor managed to stabilize my condition. And during my stay in the hospital, I got a surprise visit, of course, none other than Rinpoche. He visited me with chocolates and flowers, and I was very, very moved and touched. What prompted me was after these two incidences where Angel almost lost her life and me, I spoke to Angel and I told Angel, I said, well, we have been given a new lease of life. what are we going to do? Are we going to continue eating, sleeping, and enjoying and going for holidays, making money and all that? So if Rinpoche saved our lives, I'm sure he can save many. But you see, Rinpoche has chosen to emanate in this form as a human body with 2 hands and 2 legs. How much can he do? He needs people, he needs assistance. So therefore, I told Angel, I said, I would like to offer myself up and do 100% Dharma to help Rinpoche, to help others. So Angel agreed. I spoke to Ruby, I said, hey, I think we need to do something about it, you know, and there are more people coming in, and let's get into Dharma full time. So that was in 2004, and I remember that I was in Penang with Ruby, and we sat down and we typed a letter and we sent by email to Rinpoche, offering ourselves to do Dharma work, and that was how it all started, my journey into Dharma work until now. There are many people who come to KH for many reasons. Some are incidental, whereby they just chance upon Dharma through advertisements or through friends they have heard. Some of them are on a spiritual journey. That means, you know, there's people telling me I have this calling, that something, I'm not happy, and I want to find something spiritual. Or there could be just people who are belonging to the group who are academics and people with analytical mind. So no matter which category of people looking for spiritual solace on a spiritual journey, importantly is that read on books, any Dharma books. Attend all of Rinpoche's Dharma teachings, never miss, because it may be the same topic, but each time you hear it is different. It is always different. Most importantly is that after having this foundation put into practice, that is the experiential journey that we fully understand what Dharma is. Reading, listening, talking about it, teaching about it has no effect. So my advice to people who are on the spiritual journey and who wants to learn Dharma or wants to be in Dharma is that practice, be involved in Kechara, in any of the departments, help, assist, volunteer in any way you can. That is the most profound way of learning Dharma.